Hi friends, Susan Campfield here with Suestampfield.com. Happy Crafternoon, everyone. I'm so glad you're tuning in with me for my monthly class. This is called Crafternoon. People who placed a qualifying order with me last month in August got a packet in the mail to create this card with me. It is a new fold that I've designed and I'm super excited to share it with you. There is a extremely detailed let me see, 19-page tutorial with step-by-step photos walking you through all of these cards that is available for purchase on my website, Suestampfield.com. That is actually already up in the store. I just turned that on live 15 minutes ago. And the more extensive blog post with all of the pretty pictures and everything else will be coming soon. Those of you who got a packet in the mail, you get the tutorial for free, and that will come out. It's probably going to be tomorrow when I get that email out to you, but it takes me quite a while. And then team members, you also get the tutorial for free. So just be patient with me while I get that to you. The blog post will be up maybe end of the day tomorrow, maybe Monday. So stay tuned for all of that. And let's go ahead and dive right in. If you want to get the blog post when it comes out, you can subscribe to, just go to Suestampfield.com. There's an option for free project sheets to sign up for. There's also an option to sign up for blog posts. So you can do that there. Let's go ahead and let's turn that off. You guys ready? I'm so excited to show you this new fold. So let's dive right in. And let's see, there we go, desktop. Awesome. So I want to share with you, I'm going to show you the card that we're actually making today. So I would like you to introduce you to the Honeycomb pop-up fun fold card. So I'm going to slide this out here. So when the card comes out of the envelope, of course it goes flat for the envelope because we like that, right? And then can you see that honeycomb shape popping out here? It's kind of like an elongated hexagon, really. And with these cards, you can make it, you know, when you stand it for display, you can make it more pronounced, you can make it a little bit skinnier, doesn't matter. Initially, I was going to just go with this shape, but it was a little wobbly, and I really like cards that stand for display. So I did add a stabilizer piece on the bottom, which gives me a lot more options for decorating, which is kind of fun. And you'll see that on some of the alternate versions here. So this is the Honeycomb pop-out fun fold card. Now this style of card, of course they can show it off, display it. The inside greeting on this one actually goes on the back. So got room for writing there. Now this piece of decorative paper here, you'll see on some of the other versions, I made that shorter. Some of them I left it off entirely altogether. Totally up to you. I'm trying to get the little gold highlights in this pretty gathering together paper. So this is the version that we're going to be making in today's video. Now I want to be really clear here because there's always a little bit of confusion. I'm going to be giving you just the basic dimensions for this card. I'm going to be giving you what you would need to make the card base. All the decorative pieces I am not going to give out in this video because it would be very confusing, and I've spent a lot of time putting those into the tutorial so that they're all right, because every card I kind of did something a little bit different on some of these layers and things. So super fun. I'm excited to share this with you. Let's go ahead and look at all of the cards. The tutorial will have 5 different versions of this. This is number 1, a honeycomb. Whee! It's kind of fun, you guys. It's sort of almost like an accordion. Okay, let's grab our next one. This one is with the Elegant Pine Snowflakes suite of products. So that's what the name of the designer paper is. This is a designer paper back here. Although you could certainly get the same effect by stamping your own, but that's faster, right? And absolutely gorgeous. Now this embossing folder, you might be wondering what that is. That's actually the Christmas greenery. No, is that right? Yes, Christmas greenery. Wait, hang on. No. Peaceful Greenery 3D embossing folder, and that is actually part of the Peaceful Garden suite of products. It has a label shape in the middle, but it's got some beautiful embossing. So when you're doing skinny strips like this card, it works perfectly for that. So again, of course, stands for display. We've got some faceted snowflake gems on here for a bit of sparkle. I love the pine. You know me, I love pines. My family has a Christmas tree farm in southern Iowa, so I'm all about the pines. And then on the back here we have some more opportunities to decorate with that designer series paper and our sentiment there. So, and that sentiment is actually from the Words for the Season stamp set. So that is the second one. Let's keep going here. I've got more. So we've gone autumn, we've got dipping into Christmas and winter there. And then we also have this one. Now this can be a Christmas card. This is the Traditions of Christmas suite of products. And I've paired it, there is an embossing folder in that one, but it doesn't work well for this particular card layout, so I've used the Damas Designs embossing folder. But I actually created this one because this I actually created this with the idea in mind that you could send this for a birthday card, a thinking of you card, a sending love and joy card. Doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas, but it can be. The only thing that's a tiny bit Christmassy on the front here is, of course, the pine bough that's in the bouquet. Now this bouquet is actually die cut right out of the paper, and on that particular sheet of the Traditions of Christmas designer series paper, that sheet has 3 different colors of the bouquet, and I think any of them would work on this card. So you could do, you know, all of your holiday cards or all of your December birthday cards or whatever with these and make them each slightly different with the different colorations of the bouquet. This gorgeous label and the greetings are from the Traditional Labels bundle. Love it. We're actually using those dies on our card that we're about to make here. Then on the back of our card, I used quite a bit more of the designer paper just for a little pop of color there on the back. And the Just For You is actually also from that Traditional Labels bundle. So that was, so that is our Traditions of Christmas birthday card version. And then speaking of birthday, we've got a masculine birthday, because sometimes masculine cards can be a challenge, right? So this is from the beautiful Branching Out bundle that is in the September through December mini catalog. And I've actually paired it with the B-side of the Autumn Toile designer series paper, which is some great kind of masculine colors. This Branching Out set comes with a whole bunch of nested label dies, and so you can do all sorts of creative things with those. I did do a little trick with the stamps that I walk you through in the tutorial to get your pine bundles there fluffier. So that's all, everything is step by step for you in the tutorial. Then on the back of this one, I just had to do a few more pines and pine cone on the back side of the card. And again, what I love about that Branching Out bundle is that the stamp set has a variety of greetings for many different things. It's just because it's pines. Pines grow year round, right? So anyway, that's nice for those masculine cards. And then our last alternate here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're getting to the bottom. Isn't he cute? Santa's coming to town. We're back to the Christmas. This Festive Friends bundle is so stinking cute. I did use Wink of Stella on his hat band there. I'm trying to tilt it in the light so you can see it shimmer. It's much more obvious in person, of course. And then I used the Christmas Tags and More designer series paper for my little elements there, and the Festive Plaid embossing folder. And then on the back side, we've got a little bit more there. I think it would be cute that Christmas Tags and More designer series paper has a bunch of ephemera, which is like just die cuts that you can punch out. And I think a stocking or something here would be super cute too. So would you guys like to learn how to make the Honeycomb pop-out fun fold card? Let's look at them all really quickly again. I'll do a quick recap at the end, but let's dive right in. We're going to make this version with the Gathering Together designer series paper and the traditional label dies Those are from the Christmas set, but oh my gosh, they're so versatile. They work for anything. And then this shaft of wheat is actually from the Amber Autumn bundle, which is what the greetings are from as well. And then we have, can you see it? I have the Gathering Leaves embossing folder here. My lights are so bright, it's sometimes hard to see, but there, if I tilt it that way, you can see it. So let's go ahead and walk through. Again, quick reminder, I'm going to be giving you just the dimensions that you would need to make a blank fun fold card base, and then you can do all the dimensions. You can either purchase a tutorial to get all of those or work those out on your own. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in, friends. We got things to do. So those of you that placed a $50 order in my online store in August got this packet, Crafternoon. Some of you got the catalog with it, with our no, well, last month I sent you the catalog. Never mind. Take that back. You got this packet in the mail to make our fun folds. Let me just slide the packet out here. And we've got all our little bits and pieces in here. Now save that sticky note. That's where the gems are, so don't lose that. And then what we're going to start with here is these 3 pieces, and make sure you get all 3 out that are at the back of your envelope, okay? Then of course we have our note that tells us what things we need to use to make our cards. So we need dimensionals, adhesive of choice, a bone folder, and then our sentiment stamp and early espresso ink. All right, so let's go ahead and, where am I at here? Right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our card base. So these 2 pieces are pretty similar in size. They're the same height, but they're slightly different in length. Okay, so we're going to start with the longer one, and that will be our card base. And this piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, and it's scored in 2 spots. It's scored at 1 1/2. Can you see that? And again at 4. So we are going to make valley folds on both of those. So I'm folding it in. So I'm forming a valley there, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. One thing that's kind of cool about this Honeycomb pop-out card, it almost looks like it reminds me of a stage a little bit in how it's standing. Like this is where the band would say the orchestra is down here. So a little bit like a stage. All right, so we've got those 2 valley folds right there for our card base. By the way, shout out to our moderator, Mary Nast, here on YouTube, who's dropping these basic dimensions in the comments. So there's our card base. Now we're going to grab this one that was a little bit shorter, but the same height as this piece. Now I did cut these both. When I cut my cardstock, it's 8 1/2 by 11, and I cut it in half, 4 1/4, so that these 2 would be exactly the right width, because that's important. And I did that on each and every one of them because I'm picky like that. So this piece, let's talk about this. This is going to form the pop-out portion of our card, the part that pops out, and the dimensions on this. So it's 4 1/4, same width, by 5, and it's scored at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 inch, 3 3/4 inch, and 4 1/2 inches. Now, quick reminder, the tutorial for this one is available. It's in my online store. All 19 glorious pages are ready for you to just start creating this. So we're going to do mountain folds on each and every one of these folds, all right? So I've got that. And then we're going to do this. Mary is the best. Mary's getting lots of love in the comments. Love to see that. Love to see our community here supporting one another. It's awesome. All right, we got that one. And then one more mountain fold right here. There we go. All right, so all mountain folds. Got that, guys? All right, we're going to hold off on the stabilizer for right now, and we're going to go ahead and start sticking stuff together, right? All right, let's go ahead and grab some adhesive. That would be an important step here. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can see there's these 1/2 inch pieces on the outside edges. Those are tabs, and those are where we're going to put our adhesive, and those are how we're going to stick this on. So you can either flatten this out and put your adhesive on this way, or you can fold it back, put your adhesive on that way, whatever works for you. I'm going to flatten it out because I get a little wild with my adhesive, and I do want to make sure that I keep it in that channel part. This is a brand new one. I just stuck this one, just refilled this one, and I didn't even get it going yet. So there we go. All right, so got that, some sticky on there, and then I'm going to turn around and do the same on the other tab here. Now, if you have your packet, you can either make it along with me, or you can watch me make it, and then after the video, watch the replay and go from there. So these little sticky tabs are going to fold backwards now, because that's what's going to stick us to our card base. Now, for lining it up on your card base, our approximate goal is to line up these two score lines with these two score lines. Doesn't have, if it's a little bit off, it's not a big deal, but what I like to do is just slide it down a skosh from the top. I'm going to zoom up here a little bit, you guys, because I don't think you can see that. All right, that might not help, but we'll try it. So I just slide it down a little bit so I can see where those score lines are, and once I have them lined up with one another, I slide it back up. I'm going to hold it up because I think it's still really hard to see. Oh, these lights, they're great, but they're also annoying. So if I tilt it just right, you can see the base score line and the top score lines are fairly lined up. So now once I have it, I know where they're at, I can just slide this up and go, yeah, that's pretty dang close. And I can double check on the bottom. And before I fully push it down, I can just adjust anything I need to adjust, and then give it a good press. All right, so that's that honeycomb pop-out section right there. You can see it can be skinny, it can be wider, it just depends on how much they want to fold this. So there we go. And that is our first part of our honeycomb pop-up card base. Now, again, you could leave it this way. If you have it way out, it's fairly stable, but I like to show off all the decorative bits, so then it's not so stable and it can tip over. So we have our stabilizer piece here. This also has the added advantage that it's a spot where you can put greetings, like on this card or on this card. You can also put decorative elements on it. So like our designer series paper and embossing. So it's multi-purpose. So, all right, here we go. This is the this is that stabilizer piece, and it is 1 inch by 6.5 inches. And it is scored at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 5 inches, and 6 inches. This one we're also going to do mountain folds on every single score. Whoops, I missed the score. Good job, Sue. I made my own score. Duh. A little tired, friends. It's been a kind of a crazy week. I was gone on a trip last week to the Stampin' Up! Land Sales Incentive trip, which was amazing. And I was a little bit behind for getting Crafternoon done. So it's been some long nights, but hey, it's worth it, right? All right, so we've got our mountain folds on all of these, right? And you'll see once again, we have 1/2 inch tabs on each end. So we're gonna go ahead and just flatten this, put some adhesive on there. Now let me just address something, because you might be wondering, well, Susan, don't we wanna put our decorative pieces on here before we add this? You could put the center panel and these two panels on, but these panels are going to cover up the seams we're about to make, so they have to go on later. And honestly, I found it very easy to be able to stick this on. And there's one of the designs, I think it is this one, the branching out, where you put this is based on the upper part, not the lower part. So anyways, that might actually throw you off on that one. So we're going to go ahead. We got sticky on here. Come on, lights. Show the sticky. It doesn't want to, but trust me, there's sticky stuff on there. And I'm going to fold that back, and I'm just going to attach it first to the left side. I want it to be flush with the bottom, because its whole idea, part of its design is that it stabilizes the card. So I've got that squished down. And then I'm just going to flatten everything out and squish the other end down on the right. And you might need to stretch it a little bit to line up because it's going over some thicknesses there. And there you have the card base for your honeycomb pop-out. So you are so welcome, Jana. Yeah, I know. Card making is my way to decompress too. So it's super fun making the alternates. It's the tutorial writing is the work part, but you guys are, it's a labor of love and it's totally worth it. All right, so let's go on and let's decorate our card. Now my team members got an email with all of the dimensions for this, so hopefully they cut their own packet and are going to be making this too, either with me here live or on the replay. So now we're gonna get dangerous and open up our thing. There's a lot of little pieces in here, guys, so fingers crossed that I don't lose anything. So I'm going to pull everything out. Now these little pieces are in their own little sleeve. We're going to keep them there for now so that will help me minimize how much stuff I lose. All right, pull out my embellishments there. Okay. All right, so one of the advantages of me going to the Stampin' Up! Million Sales Incentive Trip was the packets had to go out early this month. So and the post office did a great job and got everyone everything got delivered great. Okay, so we've got these two skinny white pieces we're going to start with. These are embossed with the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. Again, all of the dimensions for these items are in the tutorial. Let's go ahead and get some sticky on here. And the tutorial is available on my website, suestampfield.com. Just click on shop and then click on tutorials. So I want to put this right here on this first portion. Hang on, hold on 1 second. 1 second, I gotta check my tutorial because I do try to go in the same order and I can't remember which pieces I put in. Okay, I did do that. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Now, up to you, but the leaves are directional. So I don't know that it matters if they're facing up or facing down, but you probably want them both the same direction, if that makes sense. It's white on white, so it's not a big deal if you get one on upside down. So I'm just going to slide this under. Now I can look, I can see from my desktop where that bottom edge is, but I'm going to mainly focus on the top edge and that there's an even space all the way around on the, slide down a little bit, on the top, bottom, and both sides, and then I know the bottom will be in the right place, but it doesn't matter because they can't see the bottom, they can only see the top, so until they stand it for display. All right, let's go ahead and do the other one, and I'm just going to make double check here that everything is going the right direction, right? So, oh good, it made 3 chair rail cards, which was my last free. I do send out free project sheets too. They're not the Crafternoon fun folds, those are paid tutorials, but they are hopefully useful. And the last one I sent out was a set of 3 cards with the chair rail layout. So I'm glad that you were able to create those or do your version of them. They work great with anything. All right, and this would too, like seriously, any papers, any of your things would work great to decorate this this fun card. So we've got our 2 pieces on there, the 2 Gathering Leaves embossed strips. Now those could also be designer paper. I'm sure you noticed on the different versions, like on some versions I did designer paper for both. Just depended on my mood and what I was in the mood for. So now we've got the Gathering Together Designer Series paper. We've got 2 more skinny pieces, and those are going to go on the outside sections of the card base. Remember, this pop-up section is separate, and this is our actual card base. So we're going to go ahead and get some adhesive on here. I know it feels wrong to cover up the pretty side with the gold on it, but I think this Cajun Craze leaf design is fabulous for your Thanksgiving cards or your autumn cards, whatever you choose to use this for. And I'm just pushing it up from the bottom, checking that my spacing at the top and the sides is good, and then sticking it down because I know the bottom will be aligned if that top part is. Let's go ahead and do this one. Again, this is directional, so whatever direction you stuck that one on, you might want to do this one the same. It's actually the same pattern that's on the embossing folder, So if you are a little bit anal retentive like Susan is, you might want to do them the same direction, right? So my leaves are all going with the roundy edge up, not the stem edge up. It doesn't matter, but I just want them all the same, right? So let me go in from the bottom again and align this. This is the one that you can't do ahead of time before you add that bottom stabilizer piece, because it's going to cover up that seam from that said stabilizer piece. So let's just, that looks about right there. Before I stick it down, I just like to double check, and then I just go ahead and rub it with my fingers, and we are off to the races. So let's go ahead. Oh, thank you, Lisa Connie Ho. Thanks for tuning in too. I'm glad you enjoy the project sheets. Lisa's on my team, so she gets them for free. All right, what do we got? We got other little bits and pieces here. So let's go to, again, I'm just following along with that tutorial. Okay, this is what I thought was next. Just want to double check. Actually, I see in the tutorial I did the center panel first. Totally doesn't matter. Some of the cards I did the outside pieces first, some I did the center first. So whatever you want to do. This white piece is for the back. Now that might seem odd, but I'll talk about that when we get to that point, why I'm doing a white layer there. All right, so we've got these two pieces. You're going to stick your Designer Series paper on your Cajun Craze. Again, all of the dimensions will be in the very detailed tutorial. All right, let's stick that on here. And then you can just decide which direction you want your piece to go on. If those mushrooms were going to show, well, I guess one's up and one's down, so it doesn't matter. But they're going to be covered up with the label, so it's more about what's going to show here, I think. And yeah, I think I do like this part. Okay, I'm going to do it this side up. I don't know, whatever. Let's go ahead and stick some adhesive on here. Totally up to you. Your piece, all the pieces look a little bit different, right? Gloria, yes, I will be on tonight at 7:30 Central Time, and we'll be making a fun card together. So I don't know what it will be, but I know it'll be fun, and I know you guys will help me make it awesome because you guys are amazing. All right, we're going to go ahead and stick that on. Again, I just made sure that the top and both sides were lined up together for that center panel. All right, we got that on. Yay. And we're going to go ahead and decorate now our stabilizer piece, right? So it does dual purpose here. It holds everything nice and stable so that it can stand for display, but it also is a decoration opportunity, right? So we have this longer piece right here in your packet. We're going to go ahead and stick that on the center panel. I think in the tutorial I did the outside pieces first, but I'm going to do this one first because the outside pieces are protected in this little sleeve over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this piece first, doing my mushroom right side up. Not that it matters, but there we go. All right, so I've got the front of that decorated. Now I have two little squares that are going to decorate these outside edges of that stabilizer piece. So I'm going to commit here to putting my little bits and pieces on my desk and hope I don't lose anything. All right, so we've got these two little squares. Again, they're the same pattern. I chose the same pattern as this, and I want my leaves to go the same direction as that because, again, whatever. Now, you could certainly flip that over if you wanted the other side up. Totally your choice. Totally your choice. It could be all the same across that stabilizer piece if you so desire. And these little designer paper pieces all could be switched out with embossed pieces like I did on this version, which I did just embossed pieces everywhere. I even did it under here, even though it barely shows, because it just was that extra little detail, right? It's all about the details. All right, so how are we doing here, guys? We got the front all decorated. We're gonna go ahead and do our stamping. All right, so if I was doing this at home, and the way I did it in the tutorial was I actually stamped my word first and then die cut it out because these are cling mount and I can't see where they're going. But that doesn't work for Crafternoon because I can't send stamped images. I'm not allowed because of the copyright, and I want to be very respectful of that. And so you just have the blank dies. Now again, these are, so substitute whatever stamp you want. If you're not sure what your card's going to say, you can hold off and do your grading later. Yeah, I love this Gathering Together paper. It is gorgeous, and I actually love the embossing folder. I didn't realize how gorgeous that folder was until I had it in my hands. Like sometimes when you see things, you know, a picture of them, it's hard to see. I gotta pull it towards me, guys. I'm using Early Espresso ink, and I'm using Thanks from Amber Autumn. And I think I got that crooked. Ah, no, okay, I think that's okay. Yeah, close enough. All right, so that is gonna go here. So what I did is I took our little, let's go ahead and stick this on first. Now, you can stick this on with adhesive. You can stick it on with dimensionals. It's entirely up to you. I'm super into dimensionals, so I like everything possible popped up because I like that added dimension it gives my card. This will, yeah, it doesn't even overlap at all, so you don't need to really pay too close of attention where you stick those on. Anywhere will do. All right, so we've got gold foil here that I die cut this. I mean, these traditional label dies are just to die for, you guys. Look at that pretty decorative edge, and this is actually a cut here, so it actually separates. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and stick that on the front of our card here, and you can, depending on what things you want to show, you can put it down, you can put it up. It doesn't have to be dead center unless that would bug you. So we're going to stick that on there, and then I'm going to take a couple dimensionals, and I'm actually going to take my shaft of wheat here, and I'm going to lay it on my label so that it's kind of sticking out a bit. All right, you want to make sure it doesn't stick over the top of your card, and I don't think you even could unless you put this up way high. I have it kind of going off to the right, and then I'm going to secure it in place with this dimensional right there, and then I'm going to stick another dimensional right next to it, and this is where my thanks is going to go. So again, this is another label from the traditional labels bundle. So there's a kind of a dot dash around the outside edges there, and we're just going to try and get that centered. I want the same amount all the way around, and there we have our card now. So this one, I have the wheat slightly different angle. It doesn't matter, like it's gonna look good no matter what you do, right? Okay, so then we're gonna add a couple of embellishments here. Here's our little sticky note that has our, what are they called? Hang on, metallic, adhesive backed metallic gems. They come in silver, copper, and gold. And I'm using gold because of the gold foil in this paper. However, because of the Cajun craze, you probably could use the copper. You could probably mix and match and do either or. I have a large one and a small one. Shout out to Debbie, my amazing helper that helps me get all these packets together. She cut individual little tiny gems out and stuck them in these Post-it notes for you guys. It's awesome. All right, so I've got that right there. I chose to do it on the side where the wheat was. If you prefer to do it over here, totally fine. Wherever you want to put those is just fine. Now we're going to go ahead and do the back side. So that's where this style of card has the inside greeting is on the back. So I'm going to start with our two patterns. Now this is a different pattern in the pack. This one has a basic beige background, and we're just going to, but it's the same, similar pattern, so it still matches up nicely with what's on the front of the card. Again, all of these, the dimensions for all of these decorative pieces are in the step-by-step tutorial. I know I keep saying that, but a lot of people join midway through, and I don't want anyone to get confused. All right, so we've got that. And we're going to pop this right in here. All right, so now I have, you might say, well, this is all white. I could just stamp my greeting here. And you know what? You totally could. I don't always do so well when I get the whole card finished and then go to stamp and then I mess it up. Then I have to cover it up. I felt it would be easier for all of you, especially since we already put the embellishments on the front, to have this separate to stamp. Then I've got two options. If I mess up the first side, I can flip it over, right? And then it also gives me an opportunity to stick on my little bit of plaid at the bottom. So let's go ahead and hold your breath, everyone. Let's see if Susan can stamp it. I got to pull it closer to me, and even still, it's farther away than I would choose. Okay. Held my breath there. Not too bad, I can live with it. Again, blessed to have you in my life as part of the Amber Autumn bundle, as is the thanks on the front. You can put whatever sentiment you want in there. Autumn wishes would also be quite nice from that set. Now this does also have that pretty gold element to it. It's just a basic beige plaid. I chose that one because of the basic beige in this pattern I put on the back, but there are, you could do, actually the early espresso side would be super cute too. So whichever side you like better. We're just going to stick that on our card, or on our greeting piece here. And I did varying sizes on these pieces on the back. Some were layered, some weren't, some were bigger layers and smaller layers, and yeah, all in the tutorial, all in the 19-page tutorial. And let's go ahead and stick this on. Oh, thank you, Charlene. I'm so glad you liked the card. There we go. And so we're going to flip this around, and there we have our Honeycomb pop fun fold card. So super fun to play with too, you guys. All right, let's do a quick recap of all of the cards that are in this Crafternoon tutorial. Again, if you qualified for last month's for the packet this month in the mail, your tutorial will be emailed to you most likely tomorrow whenever I get the blog post or the email all written. And you know, guys know I like to put all of the pretty pictures in there and all the information, so I want to make sure I have it right. And team members, you also will get that tomorrow. And of course, this folds flat, smushes completely flat to fit in a standard envelope. The finished size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's take a quick recap at all of these. Now, if you would like a packet in the mail to create with me next month, I would love to do that with you. Just place a $50 order in my online store before tax and shipping and after the rewards come off. And then I will mail you a packet next month. Oh, we already have that one. I was going to say, why do I have 6 cards here? And then I will mail you a packet for next month's Crafternoon Fun Fold, which I'm already have a design in my brain. I just need to make it happen on paper. So you would not believe how long it took me, how many different pieces of scrap paper I ended up with while I was working out the dimensions for this card, but I was super happy with what I ended up with. So I hope you enjoyed the Honeycomb pop-out fun fold card and all of the alternates here. I'm going to flip the camera here so that I can say goodbye. Let's see, I think if I push this button, there we go. Thank you for making and sending handmade cards. You are absolutely making the world a kinder place with every card that you send, and I appreciate everything that you do. I hope these videos give you some creative inspiration so that you want to make and send even more cards. I will be back live tonight. It's a Saturday night, September 20th. I'll be live this evening at 7:30 Central Time. We'll be making a card together. Hope to see you there. Bye-bye.